Bonjour, Soul Punks. This is your host, Kronos Heartshiner for Soul Punk TV. And as I'm exploring and deepening my understanding and of self-love, of love just by itself, I wanted to talk about actually how does one learn to love himself, oneself. It's like because it's very common, we know that we have to love ourselves first before being able to love someone else and the world and the partners we may have and whatnot. But how do we do that? See what I mean? It's like most of us say, oh yeah, I try to love myself. And what does that even mean? It's like, what are you actually doing to do that? And so as part of affirmation, maybe some you may have tried to say, I love myself. I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. And you repeat it again and again and again, and hoping that it does something. Or I love me. But the thing is that whatever is the self that you want to try to love, it's actually not a singularity. It's not a monolithic personality structure. Your self is a whole bunch of different sub-personalities and traits and characters in your head. The very simple proof is that you're not the same person moment by moment. Like, how many times have you find yourself stuck in patterns of self-abuse, self-harm? For example, very simply myself, like me, it's mostly overeating, emotional eating, for example. And I catch myself, and it's like, this is not this is not the version of me that I was 2 hours before, when it was easy to stay in a fasted state, for example. So what just happened? It's someone else. So you can't. I think in my experience, this is only options and suggestions that I'm sharing with you. In my experience, trying to say I love myself doesn't really work. It didn't work for me, actually. This is not how, I don't think this is how I learned how to love myself. Because self is a lot of things at once. So there is this very innocent and a bit naive way that I learned from F.A.N once again. And he said, just say I love you to yourself, to your own heart. Say I love you to your body, to your mind, to your guts, to your different personalities that may express in a different course of the journey. And when I experimented with that, putting a hand on my heart and say I love you, and giving my names, well, that's a very different vibration. That's very different than saying I love myself, because myself is so abstract that it doesn't really mean anything. And I love you, even if you don't even believe about it, isn't that the words that you would love to hear from your soulmate, from God, from an angel, from the most beautiful things you may have ever crossed in your life? Isn't I love you the most magical, reassuring words that you would have loved to hear? And so by practicing saying I love you to yourself, there is actually a very deep wisdom, I feel, that is blossoming, in the sense that if you're the one saying I love you to the different part of yourself, including your different personalities, then who is the real you that you wanted to love at first? See what I mean? It's like you're creating a kind of a distanciation, a little bit of a dissociation, and you become the one who is supporting all the aspects of yourself. So technically, you're learning how to become your your biggest fan. And you know what does fan mean? F.A.N. So that's something that I learned from F.A.N as well. It's like, how can you decode some words in order to find the meanings of them? And I asked the universe to say, what would fan mean? I don't even ask, it came to me right away. To be your own fan means to be your first angel now. And it means a lot of things if you think about it. Your first angel now. First response. I'm in crisis right here, right now. I need an immediate help. I need an angel. I need a first aid right here, right now. And that means that I'm going to be the one that will say to the different parts of me and of my experience the words that will truly heal deeply whatever wounds are influencing myself to behave in a non-useful way. So becoming my first angel now, that can only happen in the now to be your first angel. So it's something you have to repeat again and again and again to love yourself that way. And that's it. I really encourage you to do that, because once again, anytime we say I don't know how to love myself, or okay, I try to love myself, well, there you go. You got a very straightforward, simple, effective way to do it. Put a timer, 5 minutes, put a hand on your heart and say, I love you. I love you. And in a subsequent video that I will do at some point with my Soul Punk tribe, I will play the same game with F.A.N, F.A.N, First Angel Now, and I will explain what I love you really means when you use it as an acronym. And I'm really excited about that. So that's it. Tell me if that was useful. Seriously, experiment with that. Seriously. 5 minutes, I love you to yourself. And there is so much to say about it, actually. I want to stop now and keep for more videos in the future. And whatever questions you may have about that practice, or what is your feedback about that practice, I would love to know, and I would love to explore with you. Thank you very much. I wish you a beautiful day full of magic.